Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Big Mike back here once again. And today, I decided to do something a little different, go back to my roots, and give you the top 10 things I'd like to see WWE improve upon and maybe change for the betterment of themselves. Basically, how I would make WWE better. Honorable mention: move SmackDown back to Friday nights. As of now, we got back-to-back nights. Monday and Tuesday are Raw and SmackDown, respectively. That's 2 days. Count them. 2 in about 5 hours. That's a lot of wrestling, and it gets tiring sometimes. So I say, let's space it out. Let's move SmackDown to Friday. Nice little primetime spot at 8 o'clock. Now, why this isn't on my main list is because WWE are actually doing this. Because in 2018, they made a deal with Fox, and they're going to put SmackDown on Fox starting in October. So that's going to further the brand split. That's going to give some more room for viewers. So hopefully that works out. I am very much looking forward to that. And let's go on to the main list. Number 10, bring back the unique looking stages sets and pyro. As of right now, the only unique set and pyro that we see is on WrestleMania. That's it. Now, I'm not saying everything needs a unique set, but at least give me like the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and Money in the Bank. Let's get the unique stages back. And let's kick off the shows with a little pyro, with a little boom. Make it a little more exciting. And then the guys who used to have pyro can have a little bit back, because it just makes it more exciting that way. Honestly, that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people agree with me. So, that's that. Number 9, this is going to be a bit of a long one. Abolish 205 Live, bring the Cruiserweight division back to Raw, and maybe separate some of the Cruiserweights into the Raw, main Raw show and SmackDown. Currently, they kind of are doing that, but 205 Live still exists. You can still have the Cruiserweight division back on Raw, which I think would be a good move. And then maybe have a couple of guys compete for like the United States Championship or the Intercontinental Championship. You know how great it would be to see like Dean Ambrose versus Cedric Alexander? That'd be great. They're currently doing that with Mustafa Ali on SmackDown, and he's been built up like a damn... He's been built up great, which is awesome. So that's that. Number 8. Enough with the Raw versus SmackDown at Survivor Series. We've seen this since the brand split. It doesn't get any more exciting. Raw pretty much swept the main show of Survivor Series this past year. I think it's time to do something else. Like, rumor had it, like, beginning of the year, we were supposed to have Team Baron Corbin versus Team Angle. I would have been okay with that. So let's mix it up a little bit. Number 7. Go back to the 2-person announced teams. 3 people is a bit of a crowd on regular announced teams. And then you like on Raw, you have Michael Cole, Renee Young, and not Byron Saxton. Who's the other dude? I forget his name. Anyway, you get my point. 3 guys, it's too much. Let's condense it down. Let's bring it back to the color man and the call guy. That's all we need to hear. We don't need that third person in there. Let's just get the 2-person announce team back. 6, let's go a little bit easier with NXT call-ups. Currently on their way up, in which I think they're going to debut this coming week, we have Lars Sullivan, EC3, Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, and Heavy Machinery. That's 7 people you'll have to accommodate to this already gigantic roster. Now, I'm not saying they can't use a good call-up or two, but with what they already have, and with last year's NXT call-ups not doing so well, maybe it's time to go a little easier on the NXT call-ups. That's just me. I feel like maybe it's time to slow it down a little bit. You know? Number 5. Less reliance on the older superstars and look to push future/current stars. They're kind of doing that now with like AJ Styles and Ali and obviously Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, but there's a lot of guys still out there who are just, they're there. And that's not that great. I mean, look at Ember Moon. She comes up now after WrestleMania. She's just been everybody's little buddy. She's good enough to be a women's champion in the future, I feel. And she's it's a little disappointing, but maybe it's time for WWE to focus on their current roster. Now, personally, I do love this excludes the Royal Rumble. You want to have an old school surprise entry? That's fun. That's good. Little nice nostalgia pop, and then they're gone. No need to do a long storyline with them. It's time to build up your current crop of stars. Number 4. More serious look at the tag team division. Now, over on Raw on Christmas, Vince McMahon announced officially that we're getting women's tag team belts, which is fantastic. They're coming back. This is a good next step for the women's division. The only thing about it is the current tag team divisions don't really feel legit enough. Like on Raw, you pretty much got all joke tag teams. Current tag team champions are Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Even though I really like both those guys, they should have been single stars, while the Revival should have been the tag champs by now. But instead, here we are. And SmackDown's no better. They have reliance on like 3 guys. 3 teams, I should say. Sheamus and Cesaro, the New Day, and the Usos. Now, don't get me wrong. I like all 3 of those teams. You got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and Sanity's just sitting on the sidelines. Let's use them a little bit. You know, let's get them into the spotlight a little bit. Let's give them a little more time. Which leads me into my next point, point 3. Use a week-by-week rotation of your superstars. Now, what I mean is, let's say on Raw you have Dolph Ziggler versus Dean Ambrose. I know that's not likely to happen, but, that's that. The next week, you could have Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. And so on, and so on, and so on. That way, a couple guys may get a break from time to time, and you don't see the same match each and every week. Number 2, more focus on wrestling, less focus on goofy characters and storylines. My example for that is in NXT. There is a goofy tag team in Heavy Machinery, but they're used pretty damn well. They have a good connection with the crowd. And their biggest storyline was who attacked Aleister Black all summer. It was intriguing. It was fun. It was cool. Give me more stuff like that, and less big guy doesn't like little guy because he's a little guy. No more of that. Let's see some good in-ring action overall. And my number one thing that I would like to see from WWE more is listen to input from the fans. Now, I'm not saying, just listen to the guys who they want to push. I mean, that's, you obviously want to see these guys do well. Like, obviously Finn Balor. I love Finn Balor. And he's the first ever Universal Champion, which is great. But maybe let's see him build back up a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. So instead of listening to the smarky fans like, oh, you should push this guy this week. Oh, you should push this guy next week. Listen to input from the fans in the stands and listen to their reactions to people. Like, Becky Lynch is the most over person in WWE right now. And it's because the fans got behind her. Now, obviously, WWE had a little misstep with SummerSlam, but made it up, bit later. They need to learn to strike while the iron is hot, so to speak, and then they could build from there. So that's it for my list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you haven't. Hopefully I'll get some more videos up as the weeks go on, as we get closer to my favorite time of the year, the Royal Rumble. Take it easy, guys. See you later.